This is our favorite fertilizer for every part of our garden. Vegetable garden, cutting garden, perennial garden. We water our pots with it, but we only use it once a month through the growing season. So we planted the garden technically about a month ago, and so this is the first time that we're gonna feed the entire garden with the Alaska Fish fertilizer. Comment below, I'm gonna send you the link to it so that you can find this, because it's so nice because you can use it on everything. Now, here's why we use it. When you plant your plants, even if your soil is rich and fresh and new, your plants are absorbing all of those nutrients. As it waters, or as it rains, or you water, those nutrients, some of them are just leaching out of the soil. And so as your plant continues to grow, it needs more nutrients to continue to help it to be healthy. So if you aren't feeding your garden throughout the summer, it's probably hungry, and it might be why your plants haven't been as big. You maybe didn't get as much fruit or vegetables or flowers. It's because your plants were lacking in nutrients. They're deficient. This right here, I'm going to warn you, smells awful, like dead fish. It is dead fish, but it's so good. All of the plants love it. And here is the absolute easiest way to use it. Number one, make sure you do not get it on, well, if you get it on your hands, clothes, shoes, you're gonna smell like fish. Just know that. We take our watering cans, which our watering cans are 2-gallon watering cans. If you aren't sure how much water your watering can holds, take an old milk jug, fill it up a couple times and see. Most watering cans that look like this are about 2 gallons. Then we have a 1/4 cup measurer. This never goes into the kitchen because we put fish fertilizer in it. Gross, we don't bake with this, but it stays out in the garden with our fertilizer. So first you put the fertilizer into your watering can. Okay, get close, babe, so they can see. See how thick it is? It's like soupy mud, okay? It's very thick, very concentrated. Don't spill it on yourself. Pour that into the bottom of your watering can first. Then, oh dear. Okay. Well, then we're gonna turn on the water, okay? And I like it to be, let me get it on the right setting. I want it to be on the jet. There we go. Because you're wanting to make sure that it's mixing up that fertilizer as you're putting the water in. So you want to put the fertilizer in first, so that as you put the water in, it's like churning it up, getting it all into that water, okay? Filling. Here's how we water the garden. Is once we have one watering can full, think of it like this. So you're giving them a dose of nutrients. You're not trying to do a deep water. So this one watering can is gonna water 10 tomato plants. We're basically gonna do one whole swath of the garden with one watering can. Then we go back, fill it up again, do another swath. We only do this once a month. It does take a little bit of time to get the entire garden fed, but it's totally worth it because you're gonna get more veg, more flowers.
Is it organic?
It is organic.
Will it burn the plants?
No. Good job, babe. What else do I need to tell them? You can, okay, if you've heard anybody talk about foliar feeding. Foliar feeding basically means you're giving the nutrients to the leaves of the plant. You're gonna water the leaves. Okay, we're ready. Very carefully, I don't want this on my face. We're gonna start watering. It's okay if you get this on some of the leaves, it's not gonna burn them. The leaves of your plants can absorb some nutrients, but we really want this right now to go to the roots. So my goal is when I'm watering, yes, it's gonna get on the top of some of this stuff, but I'm not trying to do a deep water. I'm just walking through, giving a little bit to each plant so that this one watering can will stretch through this whole length of the bed. Which, how long do you think this bed is, babe?
It's about 20 feet.
Yeah, 20 feet. And I would say that it's rated, so like I made it to the end, so then I have a little bit left in here. I'm just walking back. We like to do this in the morning time because the morning is when your plants, kind of like you, they wake up, they're like absorbing as much as possible to be ready for the sunshine for the day. And so the morning is the absolute best time to water your plants. It's also the best time to feed them because they will like absorb all of the nutrients that they can. When you water at night, your plant is trying to go to rest, and then you're creating this wet environment, damp, cold, and that is an invitation for pests. And if you have dogs, the dogs love the smell of this fish fertilizer. I would say to keep them out of your yard for a day so that the fish fertilizer can absorb a bit before the dogs go back out into the yard. Our cat doesn't seem to want to dig in the garden when we water. We haven't noticed more raccoons or like other just wild animals around, but the dogs do love it. Also, last tip, don't feed your garden right before you are gonna host something in your garden, like a dinner or a party. It smells, but the smell will dissipate after about a day, day and a half, and then you are gonna notice your garden just flourishing. Set your timer then because you're gonna feed it again in 1 month.